What am I lying?
A huge shout out to the overthinkers. An overthinker. He watches the show. To the overthinkers. Thank you, overthinkers.
Keep inspiring the next generation.
Shout out to the overthinkers. Thando kuphela. Much love.
To my overthinkers, mamela ubuchopho ngeke buphume buyakhula nizinja nikhokho yazini as overthink siya overachieve.
I'm stealing that. I've stolen that one. I've stolen it.
Are coach shorty. Wait, can you guys hear me? Are coach shorty as overthinking say overachiever. Welcome everybody to the Overthinking Football Show. My name is George Mokwena. I'm your host, and this is a place where we absolutely love South African football, African football, and every now and then we dip our toes into what's happening Orkant. Every now and then, though. The show is on every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. And also, if Chiefs, Pirates, Mamelodi Sundowns, Banyana, Bafana are in action, we will be here covering what is happening. Special shout out to the under-17s who qualified for the World Cup by qualifying for the quarterfinals of the under-17 AFCON. Bo Emil Witboy. I want to start us off there. Very good results on that side, guys. It's a very interactive show, so you can actually call in and speak to me while I'm live right here. And you do that by joining me live on TikTok, following the account, and then pressing the button at the bottom of your screen. It's got a pink figure, hugging a blue figure, and I let you in, and you can have your say on whatever it is that we're going to be talking about. Now, Mondays, traditionally, when we're back in club football times, are days when we're going to do reviews. So today is no different. So Monday review, we're going to have Polokwane City, who lost to Orlando Pirates 1-0 through a 67th minute goal from Usbisi Marul. But it's okay. It doesn't say that on the scoreboard. Then, of course, Kaizer Chiefs played a 1-1 draw versus TS Galaxy with goals coming in from Duba. And what is being written down as an on goal from Sumango in the 80th minute. We're going to start with Kaizer Chiefs versus TS Galaxy. So please, if you want to request and speak to me, we're going to have 2 panels for Kaizer Chiefs, 2 panels for the Orlando Pirates game. Everybody's going to get 5 minutes. So if you could please give me 3 minutes of how you're feeling, 2 minutes to just let me ask you a question or two. And please, can we respect each other on the panel so we can allow each other enough time to do what we need to do. Okay, let me just make sure that my panel is fine. Let's start off with Kaizer Chiefs. So guys, feel free to request. While you guys are requesting, I'll tell you a bit of the stats. So Kaizer Chiefs versus TS Galaxy. Kaizer Chiefs had 16 shots, 5 on target, versus TS Galaxy's 12 shots, 1 on target. Chiefs had 57% of the possession versus TS Galaxy's 43%. Then, of course, Chiefs completed 323 passes versus TS Galaxy's 250. TS Galaxy created 2 big chances and missed both of them, whereas Kaizer Chiefs created 4 and missed 3. So, what's happening now? I don't know what's going on with my TikTok. It's telling me that I need to log in, even though I'm inside. Hey, guys. Kupaliskaroba, man. Kupaliskaroba. Radia, it's time to cry. Radia, it's time to cry. Guys, I'm trying to figure out what's happening here. So... Who reported me, Christopher? Why would you report me? Guys, I'm going to start the live over. Please, 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 please stay where you are. I will be back in just a second. Let me just figure out what's happening here. So I'm going to restart the live, guys. Please give me a second. Sorry to those watching on YouTube. Apologies for that. There seems to be a little bit of an issue here on my TikTok. So I just want to make sure that that is fine. How are you guys feeling there in YouTube land about what is happening with Kaizer Chiefs? Do you think that it was a good point? I mean, a lot of people have been complaining, but to be honest with you, there hasn't been that many places where Chiefs can actually get points, and we finally hit 30 points, even though it might go away. Now, I'm going to say what I said in my post-match review, in that I think Kaizer Chiefs is a team that doesn't have direction. Some games they're going to play well, some games they're going to play badly, and it's not going to come down to them actually influencing a game like that. It's going to be a lot of Chiefs coming in and just giving half-hearted performances. They do the same thing over and over and over again. Now, what I will say is that I am going to give Kaizer Chiefs credit for them having a solid defensive defensive outing versus this TS Galaxy team. I don't necessarily think that TS Galaxy is a club that we needed to be too scared of, especially seeing the fact that they decided to go with an uber attacking setup, bringing in all types of players, Tshwane Toli, Zazvomich, Letsualo, into that team, almost like they were smelling blood. And that they were feeling as though Chiefs was going to be a little bit weak. So that is part of the reason why maybe the game was so open by my assessment, but it doesn't mean that, you know, it was a good performance from Chiefs' side. But everybody's going to come in and give me the same thing. I've seen the comments. They're going to tell me about how Chiefs had so many chances, how Chiefs could have knocked on the door. But they forget to factor in Puso di Tshwane, Kari last minute, blasting it over, completely over the posts, and, you know, not being able to score the one. Zajmovic himself also had a chance of his own where he should have buried the ball, but decided to put it over the posts. So it's one of those things where you sit back and you say, in as much as we always say that Chiefs is creating chances, we always say that Chiefs is always doing those things, we tend to forget that the other teams are also doing the exact same thing. And we look past how many chances they created. Now in this game, Chiefs created 4 more chances in terms of big chances created. But here we sit with a score of 1-1. I don't know what needs to be done, but I do feel like Coach Nabi needs to be a little bit more proactive in coming up with plans, man. Like, all you can ask for is for your coach to come up with a plan. It's for your coach to go, you know what, guys, I know we're not playing beautiful football. I know I don't trust you guys. I know I don't have my signings. I know it hasn't been going well. I know I want to play this expensive football. But the truth of the matter is that you're stuck with what you have. And if you're not making tactical changes similar to what people around you are doing, then is it a little bit of arrogance that is coming from Kaizer Chiefs to just assume that everybody is going to be fine with whatever you are doing for as long as possible? Because for me, what I know about my fellow Chiefs fans is that and they will move you out as soon as possible. So you might think that you've got time, you might think that you've got love, you might think that you're carrying favor within the Amakosi faithful, and you'll find out very harshly. You'll find out very harshly that there isn't anything. Guys, am I on? Am I on? It feels like I am on. There in the comments, please tell me, Prati, something is happening over here. So I'm going to see if I can't run it back. Kaobane man, ke a le bona. Ekare la chat mo. Guys, feel free to request. Let's carry on exactly where we are. Mara uthi ubizi yabalawala. Yeah, ubuhle. I must keep you entertained when the panel is not paneling. Mara, it looks like the panel is fixed now. Bongs, welcome to the show. How are you?
OT, I'm fine.
Hey, Bongs, I don't know what's happening, but I'm just going to carry on. Bongs, how did you feel about the 1-1 versus TS Galaxy? Man, 1-1, man, it's not that bad.
Someone once said, we can talk how the mighty have fallen. And on the right, look at us now. Segelwanela, 30 points. Is this what we've become now? A team that fights for 30 points.
Yeah, that's what you need to be sometimes.
No, for a big team, Chiefs, they should not be fighting for 30 points. They should be trying to win the league. But try out CAF, but try Lovana who win a star.
Yeah.
So how long are we gonna wait for a star? Pirates, Sundowns. So no man, Chiefs is a big team, but it's not proving itself for it's a big team. And it has a lot of fans. No, they are making their fans happy.
Mara, Bongs, can we say that Chiefs is still a big team after 10 years? It's a decade.
For now, it's a little team for vibes, fella, because it's not taking football seriously.
Yeah.
Especially the fact that Baraka Batu Baling hyped. Abareki the player is serious for the team so that they can win as a team.
Bongs, I want to ask you, do you think that this idea of Chiefs' style of play, Chiefs' culture, do you think that that is helping or hurting the team? Because it feels like the players, the coaches, management is under pressure to recreate what was happening before. They're always looking back. How do you feel about this idea of Chiefs' culture? And do you think that it's something that must change? Can change?
No. Change needs to happen. For us, back to the top. Change needs to happen. And it starts as a team itself. Better before who reka di player tshwantse management yona e assess pele dule fatshe e bone hore no what's best for the team and what's best for them to make us the fans happy, because rona as fans we've not been happy for 10 years. We've just stayed for the sake of no I'm a cozy for life. We've signed a contract for life. But actually some of us do want to live, but we are saying we are staying because we've signed a contract for life.
So, Bongs, how much then do fans play into this? How much do fans play into this? What is the role of the fans? Are we important in all of this? Do we also contribute towards the toxicity at Chiefs, as some might call it?
I'd say 50% of us as fans contribute to the toxicity of the team, because Rona, the players instead of buying players telling serious for the team. Because I do have my my players taking the battling at Kaizer Chiefs, but people would say no, those players are not Kaizer Chiefs material. But right now, Cross, they are not Kaizer Chiefs material. We should have gone for players like Boba Sadini, Bo Titus, people who are going to deliver for the team. But we are trying to Lebo Manyambela, Bo Setole, Lebo Aziz. Instead, Ratama, Relobatlana, Lady Player, Lebo Ox, players who are not really Kaizer Chiefs material. Just because never shine a fella, go Stellenbosch for a season or two, Serena for about good for Kaizer Chiefs, which is not true.
Marabouts, for the last minute here, I want to ask you, what makes those players want to come to Chiefs? Pasadena is a trophy that he won last year. Boaz Lidki, all of those guys surely would be looking at Sundowns, at Pirates, at the most serious teams in South Africa.
Well, it's up to bobi bona ba buisane le bona hore ba kgone ho tla Chiefs, because we need players who can spearhead Chiefs back to the top. We can't just say no, Sundowns so e tshwantse ba nke because bona ba win at the time. Le rona re tshwantse re tlo wina, le rona re tshwantse re kry-e something. As fans, we are tired of always being a team and tshewa mo no ntso thwe re team fela ya di-vibes, re rekisa mazimba, re na le di insurance tsa di-funeral policy tsa di-holiday. Ha re create team e winang e zame hore e compete live fitlha le CAF, e zame a star e kgone ho bapala le bo di-Club World Cup.
Okay. Let me go to Ongama. Ongama, welcome to the show. How are you?
How are you, T? Let's hope I'm clear.
No, you're very clear, my brother. Welcome to the show. How did you feel about the 1-1 TS Galaxy?
Hey, we fumbled that win, and our T. We should have won that game, but it's a story for us for this season. You know, there's something that shocks me this season that I've been looking. I made myself a squad audit when I OT. I didn't believe to myself that almost 80% of our squad has undergone an injury for every 2-3 games. There's an injury for every 2-3 games. And I've had that question because when I was listening to your review about Kaizer Chiefs of not having a consistency and not having a structure, I understood and made an audit. Why is this thing having no consistency in our team? I understood that whenever we try to make something, there's an injury for crucial players, like an injury for Tabotsele, an injury for Rushin Dotley, an injury for Miguel, an injury for Castillo, injury to Matlo, an injury to Duba, injury to Mdu, almost every squad, an injury to Tabo Frosler. Every player has undergone an injury to this season. So when I was looking at it, and I'm saying to myself, it's not easy even to the coaches, because when you're trying to bring those players back, you're making them to gain that form. It's not easy for them to get the right momentum and get the right spark to the team. So it's very difficult, OT, for those injuries that are happening week in, week out. It's very difficult.
So Ongama, how much of this is poor management of players? Because a lot of these guys are rushed back from their injuries. Some of them, like Tabotlele, was meant to still find his form and maybe his fitness. Abo Blom were brought in unfit. How much of this comes down to the management of the team? And what can we say to the technical team? That, Mara guys, if there's this many injuries, we have to look at you and say, why?
Hey, OTE, this thing, I can't say it's poor management, because a lot of the injuries are happening in the field. How can you say it's a poor management when Wandile Duba was injured on a cup game where everyone was seeing, where even Castillo himself was injured in the field? We saw those injuries are happening into the field. And how you can say these are poor management when you see those things are happening within the field of play?
Yeah.
I feel like we are not honest with ourselves on our team. It can't be poor management. Poor management in what way? Maybe it's me that do not get that point on our team, because when I'm looking at those injuries are happening in the field. Castillo was injured into the field of play. We saw it. Wandile Duba was injured in the field. Duduzi Shabalala was injured into the field. We saw him. Even this player, not Cross, Mashiane was injured into the field. Morris was injured into the of play. All of those players, it's things that we see. They get injured into the field of play. So it's quite concerning, but it's something that is not within the coach's range to manage when they are in the field of play getting injured.
Okay, can I ask then, what makes Chiefs special? Because all the other teams have gone through injuries. I mean, Pirates has had to change their back line how many times? You know, the midfield how many times? Because of injuries. You know, there's been other teams in the league that have been complaining. Isn't this part and parcel of the league? Are we giving Chiefs and out here?
Let's look, OT. How many players have undergone an injury in Orlando Pirates? Firstly, I just want to ask you how many players. When was the last time you see really out of the game in Orlando Pirates? When was the last time you see Mabasa, those players that are always regularly abombata, have undergone a long-term injury? How many times there is an element whereby there are almost 6 to 7 players in our OT ever since the season started in Orlando Pirates, whereby they're always into the game. So there is an injury, but at the same time there is a continuity in our team. We get injury in the crucial position whereby there are players that are making the team ticks, like Castillo. Castillo was in a form whereby he was undergoing an injury. Tabocele and other players undergoing an injury. So it's quite frustrating, but it's something that is not within the coach's ranges when out here.
For time, I'm going to jump in and ask the comments. How do you feel about the injuries? Do you feel like injuries are playing a role in what's happening at Kaizer Chiefs? As I let Feshlord in. Feshlord, welcome to the show. How are you? Oh, Fesh. Okay, we'll come back to Feshlord. Let me go to Prati. Prati, Wangutwa.
Hey, bro, what is it?
Hey, Prati, ina aksatseba man. Aksatseba ro ho jwang. Aksatseba ro ke kutlwe jwang. But it's fine. We bought one game here, Chiefs and TS Galaxy 1-1.
Eric, you work a game here weekend against TS Galaxy. Bro, Oti, first of all, when the rebapete sharp, ne controller game, no khona go bona ne re khona go create the chances, even though go pele kwa re na le mathatanyana a go mmisa. That's why gore ntwena like e dira gala re sena di offensive player ne ke gona go bona Duba na zamanyana o bona go pele kwa le na azama at least go direge a zama go create di opportunity nyana bo Serino ne ke gona go ba bona Marte le ngobo ne gona go ba bona le bone ne ba setse ba na le combination nyana mo gare, but go changeile after half time bra OT ke mo TS Galaxy by claim ba le strong than rona, and then ha ke tsebe because of TS Galaxy go bua nnete ebile e ka mba winne game ya ke la gore go na le bolo ele gore khale ba di misa, go na le bolo e ba imisitseng ela ya ga ba re ke Mamfano Puso Tshejane ya 1-on-1, and like Brauti nearly disaster ka selo. Then but le ka injury, I think injury le nkare mole nkare 50% e re bolaile le ga Maguele, but still TS Galaxy ntse ba dira because of Dove o clear from the bench mare ne se sure ka se blame coach because of Dove azanka a jimanyana, then o tsene injury clear fela ba tsena fela bile gore Dove like wa bona gore o thulela bolo mo le ke mistake e tsagetseng, but bra OT to be honest Kaizer Chiefs ina le bothata ba go manage game. Re na le bothata jwa go manage game, like re khona go leader ona le game re ke ra tshameka ke gopole gore is it Royal AM ke la ra ke sa gopola sentle, like ne re leader ka 2 goals, then after half time then a ke tse a ke Royal AM ya bua ko morago ya kora ya 1 ya kora 2 e be nna le gore ke 2 re na le bothata jwa go manage game, and ke bothata bo ke ipotsang gore ba katisi bo coach ka kwa ba bone ba e bona yang bra OT, mare re na le mathata a mantsi, and Kaizer Chiefs go bua nnete yes bra OT nka se re yes nka re ha rena di players mole le mole, but coach le ene o tshwanetse a tshameke karolo mo ha re le coach o good tshwanetse re lebelle coach gore this one is good ka go dira eng, like a o khona go take out the best out of the players or o tlala ka di strengths tsa di players, but a ke nagana gore nna o tlala yalo ke nagana gore o fositse gore a tshameke ka style se seng sa gago se na bia se tshamekang a ke believe gore ke style sa gago bra OT.
Mara ke batla go botsa Prati, why ale protected so Nabi?
Eh,
Waratiwa man, waratiwa Nabi. Is it Nabi or ki situation?
no Rauti go bua nnete mathata a e se nabi fela ko Chiefs. Yes, le ene coach e ka nna le mathata but mathata ga e se nabi fela ko Kaizer Chiefs. Ke nagana gore mathata a thomile ko godimo ko management wa Chiefs ko godimo kwa go ya ko tlase le di-scoutera tsa Chiefs. Ke nagana gore kore gotlhe structural sotlhe sa Chiefs se na le mathata bra OT and taba ga nabi gore a ratiwe is because of o winne di-cup ko di-country ba re ka ko Tanzania kwa ko Tanzania or ke Tanzania ne
Le Tanzania aya Morocco ba moja ka di last minute.
o dirile sentle ko Morocco and ha ke nagane gore bo Morocco like la ba bona mo Champions League ba tshameka bolo ile gore rona mo South Africa ra e batla. That's the problem bra OT.
Okay. No, Prati, Eriki Kenye Msiana, welcome to the show. How are you?
Mokwena, how's it?
I guess the point is fine. How did you feel about the game?
Can I ask a question?
Okay.
Can I ask a question? What is Kaizer Chiefs material?
I don't know, man. We must ask Kappa. They deal with those things. I don't know. I hear the word.
I'm asking about the players.
Yeah.
People keep on saying, no, this player isn't Chiefs material. No, this player isn't Chiefs. Who's the player? Pulemori isn't Kaizer Chiefs material. I don't understand. What does that mean? You see, I really don't understand what's Kaizer Chiefs material like kind of player. You see. Anyways, going to the game. Kaizer Chiefs, story of the season. They dominate the game. They create a lot of chances, but never finish.
Yeah.
All season long, even against Sundowns. I believe in that 1-0 loss against Sundowns. I think they created a lot of chances more than Sundowns. You see, but they don't finish. It all goes back when Nabi said they don't have quality players. It all goes back to then. I could believe Nabi that they don't have quality players, as he says.
Marakari doubling back on the Chiefs material. You're just saying it differently.
I can't see. Uri, what's Chiefs material kind of player? Yes, OT. What's Chiefs material kind of player? Because, for example, let's take it from the Paris side of things. Paris development players. Abonkota, Aborele. They came in, they fit in like a glove. And Chiefs have development players there who don't fit like a glove. Who don't fit like a glove. I don't know. It's whether it's the way Coach Nabi plays, or is that he undermines his own players. You see, I don't know where the problem is. So,
but Msiana, can I ask? I think my problem with Chiefs is you telling me fine, the players are not this, the players are fine. Mara, you concede an obscenely high rate, ne? Fine, they miss chances. But then is there too much to ask for a plan? Come into a game and have a plan. Because it feels like for me, they've got one way to play, and it might work versus Chess Galaxy, it might not work versus Super Sport, it might work. Like, it all comes down to whoever you're playing on the day, but they play one way. Is it too much to ask for them to be ready and prepared and to plan and to tactique and to make moves?
Going to that, I Coach Nabi's style of play, I don't know. It's like he says to his players, "Let's go, boys. Let's play. Play whatever you want to play." And then his players play what they what they wanna play. They don't have yeah, what do you call it? What's this word? A game plan or a philosophy. Yeah. I really wanted the words. I don't know the style of play of Chiefs, but they are playing. But they are playing like they were told, go play. You see? And going to the injury thing. The injury thing is not an excuse. Pirates, I think for the past 2 or 3 seasons, have been having problems with injuries, even at the back line. Even this year, many players, especially defenders at Pirates, I don't know, it's like Ibadu. They always have center back and right back injuries. Always. Mara, look where Pirates is right now. You see? Look where Pirates is right now, and look at Chiefs, where Chiefs at right now. The injury thing is not an excuse for me. Mara and OT, I wanted to ask you.
Very quickly.
I saw a guy there. Wearing a Chiefs outfit.
Yeah.
Busy da Italian dollar. Paling coffee.
Hey, Angazi, all I know is that come transfer window, then we must bring a quality seller things man.
Yeah, exactly. That's what that's where I was going to.
You see, he's not cheap quality. He's not cheap quality, man. Now, Pirates have 2 of them. We must find one, man.
I must find another one. Thank you, OT.
What time I'm gonna tap in? Let me bring it to First Lord, welcome. How are you?
Hey, good evening, OT. How are you?
Man, I'm good. First party transfer window, man. We must not just look at players. We must look at other service providers. I'll go there.
That's true, OT. I just want to the last 2 callers who was complaining about the injuries at Kaizer Chiefs. Injury is an excuse.
Yeah.
For any team, injury is an excuse.
Yeah.
Because before you start the season, you need to know how many players are we taking into this season, how many players are on loan that we can use. So if that person is not saying injury is an excuse as Kaizer Chiefs, is a lie. Orlando Pirates game at Mombela, the Nedbank Cup final, I could count players that were in that match, and they are not playing now at Pirates. It goes to a point that we have to go to our MDC to go and bring Vilakazi to come and cover up. Oli Sainda is out, Susene is out, Koki was out, Maela was out, Dean Viron was out, Bandile Shandu was out. Those are the
Munyane was out.
Munyane was out. Lebito was out. So we have now only Koki, Vilakazi, CBC, and this one, the short one. I'm sorry. We have all these
Marco.
Yeah, Marco. Those are the defenders we have now.
Yeah.
We are still in the Champions League. We are still in the Nedbank. The league is still far from over. Before we can inject, Olisaida is gradually coming back to the team. But before you can inject him to the team, it will be later stage of the season. So for Kaizer Chiefs fan to say now that is an excuse, it's not an excuse. Team is still out. Lepasa is still out. And those were the core members of that team from last season and 2 seasons ago. We have to bring Nkota in from the MDC. So it's an excuse for any team to complain about injuries. Thank you very much.
Can I ask you before you go, Fesh? I want to ask you, as somebody who's looking at Chiefs from the outside, why do you think Nabi is so protected, if I can use that word? Why do you think what makes him that the fans protect him, the management is protecting him, even though points-wise it's a record, goals conceded is a record. Well, how do you put that together?
Nabi, I will say Nabi is like Enzo Maresca at Chelsea.
Okay.
Nabi come to the team without signing any. I don't know, maybe he signed any players. He find a team there. He come with his own backroom staff, even with an interpreter. There is no Kaizer Chief former player, ex-player that is working close to Nabi.
Okay.
Nabi doesn't know the culture of Kaizer Chief.
Okay.
Our coach came into the team. He came with his own assistant, but there was still someone from the previous team. Our coach, which is now the assistant now, is still there.
Yeah.
He still knows most of these players.
You
Can still tell. Yeah, you can still tell the coach, I think we can do like this. But Nabi doesn't have anybody from the inside that could tell him, we can try this, we can try that. Ikomentune was phased out of Kaizer Chief completely. He's supposed to be still part of the team. Maela is not getting game time now. Probably is not. He probably is injured, but Maela is still there. The leadership is still there. Koki was a captain before. Sebisi was a captain before. Olisanda has been a captain. Team has been a captain. When the Chiefs is down, who in Kaizer Chief can you rely on in those players? Is it Yusuf Matt? Can you rely on him to bring that leadership quality? He lost a penalty at the last match. There is no remove.
Okay.
As a
Fesh, for
captain.
time, I'm going to jump in. For time, I'm going to jump in just so that I can let the others in. Guys, thank you to the guys that joined there, that first panel. Remember, guys, time-wise, 2 minutes, please. Well, 3 minutes of your, everybody gets 5 minutes, 3 minutes, and then I'll ask you a question or two, but it's 5 minutes altogether so we can get as many people in, especially since we're still going to cover the Pirates game that they played versus Ipulukwani City. Let me bring in Ubaronga. Baronga, welcome to the show. How are you? Kosi Barong.
OT.
Guys, please mute when you come in. Please mute when you come in.
Yeah.
Orinka ke, man. Kutla ore bo eish.
Nga thoma kae mona lo re nka reng a kitse OT mona.
Yeah.
A o tlhakaniselo OT. A o kopaniselo. Kore like ke bona like a situation se ba worse than his season e thoma. You understand? Because a lot of things like it is a more campaign Chiefs more the office like they don't make sense at the moment. Even like look at the player or like management or like whoever is involved in the team, nothing is making sense.
Yeah.
You understand? OT here ka thoma like ka bo Msimango bo Dotli bo Modi even like ke le Dove, hence Dove ke tlo mo tsentsa ka lebaka la hore he's an international player and ya Mozambique. You understand?
Yeah.
Each and every
Experience.
time experience. Each and every time on international break, the guy is always there. Talking about Msimango before coming to Chiefs, Nele set up ya Bafana. Same applies to Dotli, same applies to Modi. But currently those players they are all out. Ko Bafana. Dotli ke ena lo like o sentsana setse ka chance e o but ha isa le sure, understand? Ha isa le sure ko like hanyana ya phinyo mo matsogong. So that we cannot say or like a fault to any player. Yes, the player at some like partly, but the team million like what are they doing? Coach, what are they doing? Philosophy team ing, understand? Because of like those three players, then Nelly set up a Bafana. But currently none of them is like a Babizu Montungila. So what could be the problem? Okay, something so like a gas hanger and then you need an answer. Understand? Coming again like Moba Tomba Level Blom or like he went to MLS if I'm not mistaken, and then like there a win a championship le bo Brindley Canele there. Understand? And then coming back, Ashuka Jeno, he's like Woma bench. But Serino Ngano like is a defending champion. Although Oko next door, but he's a defending champion. But that working, that hunger, he's just playing just because of like Omo first 11. Understand? So it's not like the player like Chiefs, like as a coach, or builder around zone. Like look at like this guy, Rivero or Perez or Yates. That guy, he's breaking and giving all those players like a chance. If ever auto failure, George, I gave you a chance. Understand? You've been a setup like a performance team, but when saying can take a chance how you blew it. Understand? Returbo vilakazi, returbo mduru, returbo juba, Solomons, but one panel energy. Understand? It look like a team built around Bona, but there's nothing at the moment. So we don't know how like a problem team, coach, management. At the moment we don't know.
Do you think that, man, we're getting killed by this idea of what we think Chiefs tshwanetse ibe instead of deciding what Chiefs tshwanetse guy? Because it feels like, man, arena direction e ka hobane re santsana tshwere tsa khale re batla ho tshwara tsa bo Sundowns le bo Pirates re tshwarere ka mo re tswa bana direction man.
OT, a good point you are bringing
But
up.
man, I'm busy muting you here because we can hear you. I'm coming to you, don't worry.
And 12 OT, it's a good point because in pusetsa mo mantsweng a video ya Bobim Taung e trendang e. Understand? You are focusing like OT, Rebana Bahao, as our parent. We're expecting you for like or a channel in the right way or no, or once but when or compare Lebana Baba. Understand? Like I told my kids a person, yeah, level mama. I mean, the guy in trending nuso is trending for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Understand? No such one or focus like go clapping whereas like at the moment the Chiefs are in a direction at all. It's like ke philosophy is in thing, ke coach are is a miracle, ke management or ke di player are it re blame koma. Understand? Because a hona direction. Mara na like to management and then the coach are. I'll always say what like bereka can to wait for at the like moments home. Understand? You can't wish or like hey girl like maybe bo barkiman this guy want to Sundowns bo shalulile henger bo mabas. Mara at the moment work with that guy and bring out the best in him.
Okay.
So even the more coaching OT
very
now
quickly,
I believe. Yeah, I believe like even like Nabi, we made a huge mistake Nabi Humutlisa at this moment. Understand? Narenya Gile a local coach, all like with the South African football, the South African philosophy.
Okay. For time, I'm gonna jump in. Let me bring in Black Butterfly, the Black Butterfly. Welcome, my brother. How are you?
All right, and you, bro?
I'm okay. 1-1 TS Galaxy. How do you feel about the result? How do you feel about the season?
Yeah, this is nothing new, my man. It's going from bad to worse. If you look at it, even now pure scam, man. Scam, biggest scam. They sharpened us over our eyes with signing this coach. If you look at this thing, any other team, who has the coach developed? At least one player. I think that's the biggest talking point at this point. Like at least if you can get the best out of one player, you can't even get out of the best out of any player. As far as Mart is concerned, wherever that guy, I think we can bring in what Muti, we can try what Muti. That guy is the bad luck in the team. Whenever that guy is playing, I guaranteed lose, draw. Even if he can score, he scores because he caused a goal or something. But that guy is bad luck. The biggest thing I think with the Chiefs now at the moment, no matter what, there is no unity in the team. Even if you look at the clips from when they have their training, because I know there's always these videos trending when they're training or something like that, right? If you look at those video clips, there's too many groupings in Kaizer Chiefs. These players are like a clique, those are a clique. You always find actually yes, maybe it's cultural differences, what made them more comfortable with certain people. But you find now maybe Yusuf Mar, Ashley Dupree, they one click. Then you find the youngsters, they one click. There's no unity in that team, because now that is the thing that's also causing problems in the team that I've picked up. And yeah, and you know, a lot of people, yes, as I said, it's a cultural thing. But if you look at why was Dolly playing so well, because he was with everyone. When Dolly was there at Chiefs at the time when he was playing well, he integrated himself with anyone and everyone. And even you can see, like, you can find the Thomas player with like personalities that are clashed. Those players were clicking together at the time when Chiefs was one team. Now I think it's this click thing that's breaking this team. There's no unity in this team. And then, like I said, it goes back to the coach again and the management, not management as in the Kaizer and them, no, the management of the team itself. Who's getting these boys together to actually go and, because yes, we had that team building at the beginning, but I don't see that team building actually working. So how are you managing these players to get the best out of them? How are you now working together with these boys, even these youngsters? I mean, look at Pirates. How many young players are they developing now? It's because why? The coach is managing them correctly. He's instilling confidence in them. I keep saying this thing. Coaching is not only the tactics. It's how you actually manage these players. So that's why I'm saying, if you look at someone like Pitso will be able to get the best out of these players because he's done it before. We've seen how he's groomed certain players. In any coaching team, you find that certain tactics need to revolve around one player. You play around two players. Look at Ronaldo when he was good. They played around him. When Messi was playing, they played around him. And everyone else knows what to do when he's got the ball. When you don't know what to do with the ball, give it to Messi, give it to Ronaldo. When Rashford was playing well, give it to Rashford. Everyone plays around him. Ronaldo didn't have to tackle. Messi tackles when he wants to. But they knew we play around certain players' strengths. And then everyone else will obviously move forward. The strongest players, we play around them. And then going back to quality of Chiefs material. Yes, there is a thing like Chiefs material. It's a level of confidence, not arrogance. If you look at Kale, you can see Kaizer Chiefs material. Kaizer Chiefs have always had those type of players who just had a certain confidence about them, the way they carried themselves, just their overall look, image. They were proud to be Kaizer Chiefs. Anyone that you can go back to, you can look at them. Now you look at simple boys, you can see their posture on the field. This one is not Kaizer Chiefs. Modi can try all he wants, he can score now and then. For me, he's not Kaizer Chiefs material. If you look at, compare him to Kale, just the stature of the man himself.
I wanna ask you just something quick for 30 seconds. You mentioned the players and the dynamic. Do you think that the players have, what do you think of the players' dynamic with Nabi? Because does it feel as though Nabi's got control of those players? Does it feel as though management has empowered him? Or do the players feel like, guys, we can just wait this one out again?
That's what I'm saying. All these players and this clicks, it's whatever they're discussing. Clearly, it's Nabi. That's why I said Nabi doesn't even have one player that is developed. Is he having one-on-one sessions with these guys? Firstly, is he even understanding them? Are they even understanding him? I don't think there's those one-on-one sessions with players. Let's sit one-on-one. I'm grooming this one specifically. Have a different time for a different player. Choose just a few that you identify as the strongest. Now, there is none of that. So automatically, everyone, they listen to what he says, but they go and then they struggle to go and implement what he says in the game, because half the time I think they're not even understanding what he's trying to say. Half the time we don't, when we listen to the commentary, the commentator is saying one thing, the interpreter is saying one thing. Now he's giving a long story. The interpreter now summarizes it half the time. So how's the communication going to the players as well?
For time, I'm going to jump in. Let me bring in Agent. Agent, my brother, welcome to the show. How are you?
Shalom, my brother. Shalom, shalom.
Oh, shalom. It's shalom, man. Al-Khaim, shalom. Just Galaxy 1-1 Chiefs. How do you feel about this game? And as somebody's on the outside, what do you feel about the Chiefs situation, man, as you hear us venting?
Yeah, no, let me go with the game quickly. Chiefs, as always, I say they play schoolboy football, where it's exciting, sure, but it's like school. It's like kids playing football after school. It's exciting. Everybody is running. Everyone is having fun, but there's no productivity. You know, if you look at the big boys, and I love that the big boys are realizing this, you have to put the ball in the net. You have to win. How you win? Those are things that we'll discuss with George on Monday, but otherwise win,
Yeah.
I think that is what is lacking. And I hear the chance creation. How many chances did TS Galaxy miss also? That's a balanced argument. How many chances does Shalulile miss on a daily basis? Sales, how does he miss? But Sundowns find a way of winning.
But Agent, how many chances does 90% of the league miss on a daily basis? What makes
Exactly.
us special?
So we can't be running behind saying scoring is a problem. Yeah, it's a problem across the world, right? Do you know who is the person with the most misses? Top 10 across the world, all time. Messi is there, Ronaldo is there. But Ronaldo is the highest goal scorer. Why? Because they create extra chances for him to score. It's simple. If Dupreez needs 10 chances to score, create 11 chances. Just don't see that he misses, And also, is the problem really scoring chances or the defense? Because I feel like the defense is a bigger problem than the creation of chances and missing. Chiefs, we know for sure will score. So if we are guaranteed that at least one goal, at least keep 0. But the problem is, in as much as they score, we are guaranteed they will concede. So that is the problem, that at least keep behind. And yes, scoring, we cannot blame the coach that much, but we can blame the coach for the defense because it's similar goals. Even that detention goal, it was a similar goal that Kaizer Chiefs typically concede. That is where the problem is, right? So yeah, I think that's it. And then TS Galaxy, it was just too much. Yeah.
No, I wanted to ask you, why is Nabi so protected?
I'm coming to Nabi. Okay. I'm coming to Navi. TS Galaxy, 30 seconds. I think they were overconfident. They knew that they were playing with a lesser side, and that is the keyword, a lesser side, because that's what Chiefs is. It's a lesser side. They were playing a lesser side, and they were overconfident, and they played football is not suited to them, and it backfired. But second half, they came back to their senses, and they gave Chiefs a run for money. It's as simple as that. And then with Chiefs, Nabi, first things first, hey, I think I asked this in the group that, hey, guys, Nabi, not even one bottle thrown at him. Just one yama, just one bottle. Not that you're promoting it, but just one. Yeah. But I think because you guys have been wanting him, it's like a girl. If you've wanted a girl for a long time, the moment you get her, even if he's cheating on you, you'll apologize yourself. Because you've been wanting this girl for a very long time. And you know that he's beautiful. So I think there's that case that because you guys wanted him for a long time, you guys are giving him a leeway. And I think he sold you guys a project, unlike the North Africans. When you guys hear interesting ways like I'm building, I'm cooking, I want to play interesting football, you guys fall for it. No,
and that's why he came running to South Africa from there. And I finished second that side.
Those side, they want wins. They don't want buzzwords like that. That's the second thing. That thing, I think, is a case of Chiefs fans are tired, man.
Yeah.
They are tired. I know they're tired, Shem. Like, I think they don't have the energy to be chasing people around anymore. They're tired. Like, I've never seen Chiefs this demotivated. They don't have hope. They don't have anything, Shem. The people are living for the sake of living, Shem. So I think that's another thing that Chiefs fans have seen this movie before. They know how it ends. They want to chase him. Another coach comes in. So there's that acceptance. I think it's called Stockholm Syndrome. When you're with an abuser for a long time, you get used to the abuse, and in fact, you like the abuse. So there's that thing, Okay. And then Chiefs' problem, Shem. I always say Chiefs' problem will be sorted by accident, not by design.
Yeah.
Because what has Chiefs not done? Chiefs have done everything. They have signed young players. They have tried building. They have tried quick fixes. They have tried a local coach. They have tried experienced coach. They have tried bringing back coaches that have succeeded before, like Stuart Baxter. They have tried Hamba Dupreez football. They have tried tiki-taka. Shame, these people will win by accident, not by design. They just have to stumble on it, But I think the thing that has been missing is going 100% into a plan. If you have to go Hamba Dupreez, go 100% into it. Don't go half and half. If you're building for the future, for the next 2-3 years, go 100% from top to bottom. You know, bring your technical director, bring everything, like start afresh, top to bottom. Don't just do quick fixes here and there. But yeah, for me, I believe Chiefs will succeed by accident more than anything. Thanks.
Let me bring in Saba. Saba, welcome to the show. How are you?
How was it? Can you hear me?
You sound far away. I don't know if it's headphones or something.
Okay, just give me a sec.
So let me ask that.
They're off now.
There we go. Much better. Saba, 1-1 Chiefs Galaxy. How do you feel about it?
There we go. Much better. Saba, 1-1 Chiefs Galaxy.
Oh. Yeah. Echo. Saba, echo. What's happening? Let's try again. Let's see if maybe it solved itself. Yeah, there was a bad echo there. Saba?
Yes, the mic is on.
There was a bad echo there. Saba?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear myself too. Hey, Saba, no, Saba, unfortunately, something's wrong there. It's echoing everywhere. Maybe the headphones were helping a little bit there, but we can't hear you when you have them on. So guys, we're going to head into Orlando Pirates now. So Pirates is going to be next up. But before we go into the Pirates, Mina, all I wanted to ask, agent are depressed, arena energy, we've just accepted the situation. I was asked a question about whether we're in crisis or not. And the crisis is not that Kaizer Chiefs is number 10 or number 9 or number 8. The crisis is that it's been 10 years and everybody has just accepted. So it feels like everybody's waiting for something else to come and change the situation at Chiefs. You're waiting for new players to come and change it. You're waiting for a new coach to come and change it. You're waiting for new management to come and change it. You're waiting for new ideas. It almost feels like everybody's just pushed responsibility away, and now we are just waiting. And that is what is really weird for me, because I've been somebody who said, I don't need Chiefs to win every single game, but you need them to show you that they are here, that they see, that they're trying, that they're pushing. Because in as much as we talk about the chance creation and the chances missed, guys, we're in a league realistically where our top goal scorers, or let's say there's top goal scorers at the first 3 places, then everybody else is on 4-5 goals. You know, somebody was saying Chiefs, the top goal scorer, has 4 goals. Yeah, as does most of the league. So these magical unicorn players that you're waiting for, you're not going to sign them. Ramachivavirus scored 17 goals before coming to Chiefs the season before. Gone. He can't even get 3. You look at Dupreez. Dupreez was one of the more dangerous players at Stellies. Can't even get 2 or 3 goals. So I think fundamentally something is wrong at Kaizer Chiefs. And for me, you need to sit down and go, guys, it's not the time for beautiful football. It's not the time for crazy signings. It's not the time for any of that stuff. It's now time to sit down as a team and go, okay, this is what we are going to do now. Agent was saying 100% in direction. This is how we are going to play it now. If it means that we're going to play Hamba to Priest football, if it means that we're going to bring out the helicopter, go 100% into it. But my thing is that I feel as though Tina, as Chiefs, as a whole, management, fans, players, we're held by this thing we call Chiefs culture. And we're held by this thing we call Chiefs material. And we're held by this thing we call quality. And we're held by all of these things. Instead of going, guys, it's fine. It's okay. Maybe Chiefs needs to change, guys. Maybe Chiefs needs to change. Because half of the people who are speaking here, we are speaking about the Kaizer Chiefs from 2003. We're not speaking about the Kaizer Chiefs from 2014. We're not speaking about the Kaizer Chiefs from what? 2008. That is what we think is Chiefs culture. Meanwhile, funny enough, the most successful that Chiefs has been in recent history has been who? Stuart Baxter. We don't like him. He ruined Chiefs. Hey, what? Ernst Middendorp finishes second. The most successful coach in the past 10 years in the league versus Sundowns, let's say. You know? He finishes second on the last day. Incredible return. We don't want him. Helicopter. Gavin Hunt gets us this close to a star above the crest. Look at the ugly football that he plays. Maybe, guys, the truth is that that's what you need to go play now. Maybe that's your team. But we still have that ego and we still have that thing where we're holding on to, no, hey, Oscara. No, yo, yazi kufuna ukuthi abomoki. Hey, kufuna all of these different stars. Abo Shavla, abo Banban. Think about it. When last, what was then? Abo Junior Khanye have finished their careers. They've started new ones at idiskitv. They've built media empires. They've got money. Again, rebuilt everything. Lost everything, rebuilt. Ninansa Kalela Lea Chiefs. So maybe we need to be honest with ourselves and say, guys, this is where you let go of some of the culture. You let go of all of those things. You let go and you say, guys, we're starting afresh. If Chiefs is going to be a tiki-taka team, it must be a tiki-taka team from development all the way up. If Chiefs is going to be a helicopter football team, it must be a helicopter team from development all the way up. The players you sign, the coaches you sign, the personnel you sign must be working towards one goal. But as long as you've got one foot in Ted Dimitriyev and another foot trying to catch Sundowns and another foot looking at Pirates and another hand, twister. The matsoho a shebile kwa everything. You're trying to do every single thing. You're trying to sign quality players, but also be pragmatic. But then you want to bring in this one, but then you want to do this, and then you want to bring in Nabi, but also you had Gavin Hunt, and then you brought in Lifinseki as the technical director, but then Kevin Johnson was technical director, and then Kevin Johnson became head coach, but then he's out now. Tshwane was in the background for some reason, but now Tshwane, Sagase Amazulu, now you've brought, yay, it's a mess. It's a mess right now. So they all need to find a way, find a road, and just go down the road. Mina, I don't ask for too much from Kaizer Chiefs. All I'm asking for is, when you play games, forget about Sundowns. Mart, everybody's complaining about Sundowns right now. I mean, about Mart right now. Mart is pound for pound, where we are on the log. He's better than a lot of those midfielders there. I say this every day, that Tina, we're complaining as if we play Sundowns and Pirates every single day. Guys, you're playing Abu Colin Arrows, Abu Richard Bay, Abu Amazulu. You're playing those type of, and none of you want any of those players. But you know what the difference is? Those guys don't have this dream in their head that they're going to go and sign everyone. And they're going to bring everyone in. And they're going to sign every player and every coach and every quality and every this. They're sitting down and they're going, guys, this is the plan. Asna plan, asna mali. We don't have extra money, so they figure out how to fix things. The moment Chiefs stops looking forward and looking back and you start being present and saying, okay, make it work with your players, you'll see something. Until then, you will wait for an answer that's in the future and it will stay in the future. But anyway, guys, we're going to be moving into the Pirates game. So please, if you want to speak Pirates, this is your time. We're going to go into the last two panels for the night. Orlando Pirates played Polokwane City at Old Peter Bugaba Stadium. They won 1-0 through SBC Chaser Top. But it's fine. It doesn't say Chaser on the scoreboard. Polokwane City had 9 shots, 1 on target. Pirates had 12 shots, 4 on target. Pirates had 62% of the possession. They completed 467 passes versus Polokwane City 289 from 38% possession. Here are the interesting stats. Big chances and big chances missed. In terms of big chances, Polokwane City did not create not one big chance, whereas Orlando Pirates created 3. And here's the interesting part. Orlando Pirates missed 2 of those big chances. And of course, Polokwane City couldn't miss anything else because that's just, they didn't create anything. Mtakaba, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, Mtakaba kunjani? Yabanda indapho khona.
Yabanda man. Yabantu.
Hayi, awuzenzi
Eh.
ngendlela endliwe ngakhona uvela uzwa amakhaza noma angekho nje sono ngani.
Hayi man ngiyekele ngeminki yami ye-Kaizer Chiefs ngizalala ngayo mangifuna ukulala ngayo. It's fine.
Ngiyathanda makunje ngoba hey sivele kube mnandi uvela ukukhumbula boBrady yabo sithi abakhuluma isisuthu sabe si deep lezi ndlela sakanqela bawuhola kamanga na yonke lento lezi babawina bajabulile iChiefs win. Umnandi kabi makunje akunasisuthu esizwayo kulamala kuthule kuthe tu siphefumula kahle.
Hey, ngeke Kevin man 1-0 ke luBrady 1-0 Polokwane uthini ngeke mara why uhlupha so? Why uhlupha so every time? Hey,
Umnandi ezweni bakuhlupheka nina. Igame yangomgqibelo. Nibonakala ngokuthi qani isithathe nozidlalisela esibayeni. Nina
Yeah, next door.
nidlala eSandton.
Next
Ngicabanga
door.
nizowina kanti hayi.
Akusiyithi
No, hayi yini nikhona lapho mos angeke
It's fine.
banileke
Ni curtain raiser man. It's okay.
it's right. I-curtain raise ejabulile it's right. Akunankinga. No man, beautiful but not so beautiful match, as it
Okay.
was expected. The
Yeah.
team only landed on Thursday morning, and then on Saturday they are playing. I thought maybe they were gonna play on Sunday, but it's fine ngoba sothi siyakhuluma bathi siyabala bese abanye bazothi i-CAF experience angithi uyabazi mos la bese ngesibabiza ngamagama basitshela nge-CAF experience, but it's fine. I thought some of the players will be rested. Players like Abu Goodman Mesele, who were also given minutes on the previous matches, I thought maybe bangaqala aboMakhawula bathugqisa kancane. So, but yeah, I guess it's a case of good man, we just have to win, man. Regardless of how we win, every game we play like it's a cup final for a Pirates, especially if we still tell ourselves we want to win the premiership or to catch Sundowns, then every game is a final to us. So the coach must just select his players very carefully. But we'll get there. But finally, I think it's showing that thing that I've been crying about. Do you hear my previous? I used to say, but I think Pirates should be playing flat three at the back if we are going to use your left and right wing as if they are going to go forward more as often.
Yeah.
Then they tend to expose our defense in many cases. But since Ribeiro has tried those flat three, it shows even on the last match when we play two with Umbogat and Sibi. Sometimes we become vulnerable with only two because our wing backs, they just go forward at the same time. All of them seems like they forget their primary responsibility. But we will take the points and live with it and be happy. And see Linda na Gurel ukuthi abanye bayathathela amapoint okaja thina ngithi asinankinga sichaphazile.
Hey, 1 point wami man. Hey, road to 30 points. Hey.
Hey kuzima who thought ukuthi kuzoba nje ngale ebukhosini madoda ukuthi nobe nikhale kanje, but kuzolunga. You must continue building. I've heard agent was kind ningamlaleli mathi nigijimisana umuntu ngizobe ninodwa la manifayini agijimisa umuntu nani right nje kanje, but yeah, I believe with mhlambe maybe this weekend mhlambe khona ungakwenza ba this is football.
Ungangendi la kibe but I really want to ask you le ndaba ukuthi ndlale Champions League, come back to the league, ndlale league now it's Nedbank. Is it what does it look like at the end of the season? Man niwinani nibamba kuphi nyekala kuphi, or is it still available ukuthi niwine zonke lezi zinto?
Mntaka baba ikusasa laziyo, so akukho lapha kumele sixegise khona ngoba sizothi no we are sacrificing this one for this one ugcina ungayiwinanga at all. So kungcono nje vele we have to play each game as-cup final ngoba vele ikusasa silazi ukuthi ngaba mhlambe singathi sixegisa ngapha sithi ayisibheke i-CAF kanti mhlambe nangapha ku-Sundowns ngingaqegeka awulazi kusasa, kanti futhi noNkulunkulu emuhle njalo hlala sibhekile thina iy'ngane zase-Orlando. Umlingo usenzekile ukuthi ucoach ahambe impela aqophe umlando onzima kabi and uyayazi nature mus nonkulunkulu kunokwenzeka ukuthi abanye kuthi ukubhedanyana lapho ucoach ahambe hey going out with a bang.
Yeah.
Ngiyakubona njalo.
Unshange psychology man Rivero.
Kusazekile mntaba. Uhambe nawo
Unshange
mathathu.
psychology man.
Ahambe nawo mathathu nje impela isale sikhamsile la sibheke ukuthi hey Nkosi yami ahambile vele bese siyojabula Nkosi yami. And then by that time we'll be just saying hayi lento eCAF ilula just play it once and then you just finish you're done. Unlike
I want to ask you for the last 30 seconds Lana. What do you think of Jose Rivero leaving?
Putte? So
no, for the last 30 seconds, what do you think of Jose Rivero leaving?
No, it was expected. It's been coming. It's because the issue of the contract has been discussed since the beginning of this season.
Yeah.
And we've heard him before. He said that he doesn't believe in a coach staying for more than 3 years. And also since Akala with his family ngale, and we've seen his assistant coach Almeida and Ayahamba during at the beginning of the season. So it was already coming. Mina, I knew that it's coming. And since he didn't want to sign, so Vele, it was just written with Aika Uyahamba. And I hope they will select a better coach. And but he's a good coach. Mabangambuyisa nje.
Agama Gavin Hunt. For time's sake. What time? What time we think Fagu Pistos? Pistos, welcome to the show, man.
Mr. OT and
How
the
are you,
panel.
Pistos?
I'm good and yourself, Ninja, and everyone.
Hey, how does 3 points feel, man? Pistos, you also went to Polokwane.
Mina mangithi I'm cruising musnavane nibone kwangathi there's something missing in my thinking, guys, and there's nothing missing.
Yeah.
But before we go there, Mr. OT, there's one thing that I want to indicate. If ungakhumbula during the times of Uperera no Santana,
yeah,
Mabeza like South Africa from Brazil, they talked about a development structure within the country. And if ungatuya manje, I think that is about 15 years later. We are seeing good results. I'm very proud with football to going to the future. When you look at the likes of Abu Mbogazi, you look at the like of Abu Mfuking, you look at the like of Abu Khoza, and there's more players that have been developed within the country. So it's a matter of just with that talent be nurtured correctly, so that ingamosheki ingene ezidakamizweni.
Mara Pistos, can I off ramp off of what we do about the match? I want to ask you about what you're saying now. Is that youth going to be nurtured? Because when you look at it, Jose Rivero had the leeway and the control and the trust from the club to bring in these players. I mean, 2.5 years or however many years he's been here. You look at Abu Kevin Hunt is out of a job now, go Supersport. Supersport is going to be looking for somebody. Abu Eric Tinkler moved from Cape Town City. Is the league still able to create players, or are we going to sit in a situation where all of the jobs are dog eat dog? All of the jobs you're coaching for your job? Because you look at Sundowns, I don't think Cardoso has the time or the range or the ability, not even the ability. I don't think he's allowed to go and look at Abu Ditlaku, Abu Mapena, Abu Khoza as maybe a Rulani that has been there for years can. How do you feel about that? Is the league still a developmental league?
Look, Mr. OT, it all depends, Uguti, when are those players being introduced in a particular team. And as you are saying, being a coach, you are a coach based on results. And if results are not positive, for you to say you are developing players, you are bringing them, you are giving them an opportunity, you are putting yourself at risk. Look at Atazwane. Phela Atazwane namshayela lokho. Ukuthi unilethela players that are coming from a development ranks. So it's very important to how are those players being introduced to the game. So once we get that done, and I'm not saying this because I'm a Pirate fan, but Uribero, the way that he introduced these players to the starting lineup, it was perfectly done. And then by the hand of our so-called senior players that were there to help carry those players going forward.
Yeah.
But as you call up, Mr. OT.
Okay.
Asambe sepolokwane.
Yeah.
I was saying my token of appreciation. Sambe sepolokwane, Mr. OT. And I normally say it, Guti, every team in the PSL, even in Motsepe League, you don't go to play a game in the mentality, Guti, it's an already win. The opponents are also prepared to win the game. So if uzowina 1-0, the performance of the team was not good or the match was not nice to your standard, what are you saying about the other coaches? Are you saying ukuthi because it's Pete is Spanish guitar and then versus a local coach, then things must be easy? Those people, they also wake up nabekuseni, baba nama morning session, baba nama afternoon session, ba prepare and they do their match analysis. So we must appreciate ukuthi if ever ngabe team yakhe win a 1-0, it means ukuthi the other team standard is also picking up. And I was very impressed with how Polokwane City played. It shows ukuthi within our own local coaches, we've got people that are capable to ensure that there is competition amongst ourselves or amongst the league on all top teams. So that one, Mr. OT, it's something that we need to appreciate, because last time abantu bebukele game Pirates, but Pirates win a 1-0, it was boring. What are you saying about the other technical team of those opponents? They are also good as much as when ufuna ukuthi ama opponents akho abe very good, but that's football. Other team, they also prepare because they want to win. Same as us, Tinabe Pirates, we want to win, but we also need to understand with the opponents also prepared for the game. Then Mr. OT, in closing, ungakangibuzanga ngizovele ngene phezu kwayo. uRibeiro wathi makafika la South Africa sathi plumber in what, and we named him. We named him, even myself, I'm part of those people who named him. However, uRibeiro has made me personally ukuthi ngibe happy again about the Orlando Pirates. Njengoba ahamba, number one, I appreciate him for honoring a contract ekabe nayo ku Pirate, because he has honored his contract. And going forward, we don't know ukuthi Pirates izosilethela yiphi plumber. And I would use that word of a plumber. However, the plumber ezofika, Mr. OT, I would give him support, because in life we need to learn ukuthi do not judge a book by its cover. We all need to learn. So coach entsha mayingafika kungenzeka ukuthi uzokhona ukusideliverela iClub World Cup manje sekuba yithi esifuna iClub World Cup. So I'm happy with Ribeiro and I'm proud to be a Pirate. Then one last question kuwe, Mr. OT, sorry ngiyazikhathi sesingishayile. Ama-ticket to a Pirate today, they were on hold. Do you know any reason why those tickets were on hold?
I don't know.
Okay,
I will ask some people. Question for the comments. Can a South African coach, would you give a South African coach Orlando Pirates and trust them? Let me go to Hansa. Hansa, welcome to the show, my brother. The concierge, how are you?
I'm good, Mr. Uti. How are you, my brother?
I'm good. I'm sure you're feeling even better. 1-0 win versus Polokwane City. How did you feel about the game?
The game, it was as expected, Mr. Uti. I'm happy with the win, with the 3 points, regardless of how other people are saying the team played. For me, what is important, the one step that's important is goals, winning games, right? You have to outscore your opponent to win, and you're only as good as your opponent, Mr. Uti. You cannot force to play beautiful football while the other team is packing the bus and they are closing those spaces where maybe you should be doing all those kind of stuffs, right? So for me, I don't see much of a problem as long as we are winning and we are not showing weaknesses in the middle of the pack. Then I don't have a problem. And to answer your question that you just asked, now the answer is no.
Why not?
Mr. Oti, South African coaches, not all but many, they are easily influenced, and most of the time they are. I don't know what's the correct term to use in this instance, but they like befriending bosses or becoming too friendly with bosses just to continue having a job, right? You know the term. So I don't want to use that term. So basically, and also they can be bribed. You know, the other thing that Hugo Bros fixed with Bafana
Yeah,
Bafana was the issue.
allegedly. Allegedly. Hey.
Allegedly. But even
No.
it's true, Mr. Oti. I agree with you. Allegedly, eh. Allegedly. Yeah. So the issue comes in there, Mr. Oti, and I don't think, because if you hear a lot of legends talking, they will be telling you about experience. It tells me they won't give these youngsters an opportunity to play, because one hour what they are looking for is experience, always experience. Where else, where do you expect a person to get experience if not in the middle of the park? Where would they get the experience? From the bench or from the stand sitting outside? So it does not make sense for me. And I don't, a lot of South African coaches, they hardly believe in young talent. If they try to play young talent, then they lose the game. The fans also bash them. Why did you play young stars, or else you have people who are experienced? But I like that Coach Rivero came and changed that narrative. It showed that no, with great care, these youngsters, they can become more than what is expected from these senior players, the so-called experienced players. I think that term is being used in the field.
Can I ask, is it a situation of South African coaches not having the, I guess, let's call it skills? They don't have the skills. Or is it a situation that the teams don't trust them fully because they don't give them the leeway to make those mistakes or make those big decisions? How much does that play into the local versus international coach thing?
No, personally, I think these coaches, they are throwing themselves under the bus, and they don't have the confidence to say no, regardless of the results. This is what I will do. If I win, then it's a win. If I lose, then I will take the lose on the chin and then play the youngsters again. Because most of the coaches, if they play the youngster and then they lose, and then the fans complains about the youngster, the next game is nowhere to be found, and then the next 3 or 4 games is nowhere also to be found. So it shows they are easily influenced. So for me, no, I don't think I would give any coach, any South African coach, an opportunity to coach Pirates. And if I was a South African coach, I wouldn't even take the job at Pirates after the Rivero's departure.
Okay. Mabusan, Busi, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, and yourself, Oti.
Man, tala ngagcina kumele nge-FNB man, ngiyakwazi ukuthi wena ulapha nje everything.
Hlala ngise-FNB, Oti.
Busi, Pirates win 1-0. How do you feel about this game that Pirates played versus Polokwane City?
Yeah, firstly, Oti, eating upload my fans with Pirates. You know, they taught me something Saturday. And I've been saying that, Oti, Uguti, my fans with Pirates, they support their team. They are 100% behind their team. I saw a chance Umabaso missed. And I was in my mind, I put Ulona Lapaya, Utupriz, or someone from which is missed that chance, and the reaction from the stands. But the reaction from the Pirates fans was like, go again. You are in the right place at the right time. It's just that it didn't happen. Go again. It will happen the next time. That's how you encourage your players. And I will applaud them for doing that. Because the reason why their team is where it is today, it's because they rally behind their team. They not criticize. You'll never hear them saying things about their team. They rally behind their players. Even if the player is not performing, but they do rally behind their players. We kill our players, man.
Can I ask you, Vusi, how important is that for the next coach of Pirates? Because I'm hearing people saying Coach Pitso, they're saying Coach Rulani Babang, but how important is it to have a coach that matches that attitude that you're speaking about? La Pirates, Guti Manas Rasi, don't make a noise. It's how important is that part in the coaching search?
You know what, the coaching search on OT, I said with Coach Pitso, I respect Coach Pitso a lot, ne? But then you give him a Pirates team. It's the scenario of Stuart Baxter and Steve Kompela. You give Coach Pitso a Pirates team that have won trophies. And then I'm not saying he will fail, but if he doesn't do what we expect him to do, then what? Are we not gonna say Coach Pitso failed at Pirates? So in order for him, I said this with Kaizer Chiefs, that we can give him a chance at Kaizer Chiefs, but if he fails and he's not doing what we expect him to do, And then what? We're going to talk bad about him. His CV says emotionally already. So I wouldn't say Pirates must go for a local coach. For me, I always say the Range Rover and the 13 goals. So that's a no. Let's go for a coach, an unknown coach, because these things of the 13 goals and the Range Rover, it becomes a problem with team and the players and the coach. So the players they end up sitting on the bench because of the target.
Yeah.
So let's not go for local. With these two teams, let's not go for a local coach. Yeah.
But do you want to touch on the game? Just, I'm going to give you a minute.
Yeah, I want to touch on the game just a little bit. OT, yeah, that's the championship team is the team that grind the result. In Middendorf's way, we said if you don't play well, you grind as a result, you'll fix it in the next game. As long as you have the 3 points in the bag, you go and try again. Fancy football will come, but at this moment in time, we need the results more than the fancy football. So that's what they did. And congratulations to them. Yes. And the official said something. He said, even if they're not playing well, we must also look at the opponents. But my question to that is, when Chiefs play well and they don't win, they don't look at the opponent. They say Chiefs is bad, but they don't look at the opponents that the opponents are playing against Chiefs also.
Yeah.
They are also good. They need to get that credit. It's only when it comes to Pirates that the opponents must get the credit, but not when it comes to Chiefs. So, but I'm full of controversial. Thank you, OTV.
Thank you, Musi. Kagiso, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, OT, how's it?
Hi, mina ngimnandi. How do you feel about game in Pirates and Polokwane?
No, akubona uri munhu ati kari uipatidi ka debara club vakaona OT akumoni kibona tsotse apere bara club
Hey, man, I get about the team must steal the points now. Atetsi gore nice, must steal it now, Palaclava. Any means possible.
I hope it will still. I hope it can still next season. Because this time around, it's no parliament. But anyway, let me quickly just say congratulations to Pirates, man. It was a tough game.
Yeah.
Regardless of fans, Pirates fans, they wanted to walk over. I mean, Polokwane City is not a small team. They're also well coached and technical awareness is there. And it was going to be a difficult game, really. But Pirates being Pirates and being powerhouse as well, fighting for the title, I think they played well. I don't look at the score and say that because the 1-1 is like bad results for Orlando Pirates. They should just take that 1 point because it's 1 goal, 3 points. So yeah, that's how championship mentality that they have.
Yeah.
Keep on fighting and keep on pushing all week in, week out. They're playing 3 massive competitions like Nedbank, challenging for the league. Also, they have one eye on Champions League as well. So 1 point is fine. We as Sundowns also did that once, and people were criticizing when we were winning 1-0. But yeah, it's tough. It's not going to be easy, especially when you're playing teams that they already know what type of football you bring in, and they know exactly as soon as Pirates go to the field of play, they know they have to win because they're chasing Sundowns at the top. So it's going to be a difficult match. So yeah, well done. And also, I just want to touch a little bit on when you ask if local coach will be suitable for Pirates. I don't think so.
Okay.
I really don't think a local coach can really fit in Rivero's shoes at the moment, because I think our local coaches, and I'm not saying that they're bad, but they get too involved in the crowd as well. They get involved what to what the fans do on outside the field. They forget about the work that they were hired to do. They seem to trying to entertain the fans, and especially when it comes to a press conference, they forget about what the press conference is about. They just wanna play mind games and to get too involved into the game, and they forget about the work. So I don't think it will work, man. So yeah,
Okay.
just hope they get a good coach as good as Rivero, because I mean Rivero has been here, but you can look at Coach Rivero's interviews whenever he's being interviewed. He's always humble,
Yeah.
down to earth. He's
Yeah.
focused on his job. It's
Okay.
very rare to find a successful coach like Rivero that keeps his mind on the game and mind is he's just do his business and he
Yeah.
forget about the world. He doesn't care about which fans did this and when or play mind games. He doesn't do, even if he do that, but he does it professionally. So I think I think our football really need coaches like Coach Rivero that brings something different into the game. I think the reason why he was successful because he was just focusing on his game, to be honest with you.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't think a local coach really can really fit on Rivero's shoes, bro.
On that point, I'm going to give you some time.
And yeah, to close up, your
okay.
crisis is still, yeah.
No. Go on.
I also want to touch a little bit on your question about Chiefs on the Chiefs side when you said that the crisis is, the crisis is there. But what I think what needs to be done at Chiefs, bro, I think the board itself need to come out and said, because I don't think the firing the coach is going to be a solution, but they have to come out and speak to the public, speak to the fans that, okay, this is what we want from the coach. This year we're going to give him money by players, and also they have to have the strategy if you want to start from the back, because I don't think Chiefs have a problem scoring goals, because look at Pirates. We are applauding Pirates now. They scored one goal and they managed to defend that one goal into 3 points.
Yeah.
Chiefs is not like they're not scoring. They do score. But the problem is at the back. And still at the back, they don't have any consistency at the back. They always, because now you see, before they concede the goal, they made substitutions, even though they were forced substitutions, but the error comes from the sub. First touch on goal. So yeah, I think they need to have a strategy with how to rebuild or to stabilize the team. Should they start from the back, or they want to strengthen the midfield, or they want to strengthen their goals? They wanted to score 7 goals and concede 1, get 3 points, So yeah, it's something that the management itself need to work and talk to the fans so that they can be patient. Say, look, this is what we're building. And yeah, I think that's where the fans are going to be patient as well. Because just now,
what time I'm going to jump in?
The panel, they're also saying that, yeah.
No, for no, I'm so...
What I just wanted to say is, like, people saying that the Chiefs, just saying that the Chiefs fans are not patient with the players. If they miss one chance, they boo or what, because it's not the same. You can score 1 goal and win the game, but to score 1 goal and then consider what you get 1 point, you don't get 3 points. So that's where the difference is.
For time, I'm gonna have to just jump in so that we can get the next panel in. Thank you to the first panel. Hi guys, Mina, I feel like we are being unfair to local coaches, and I feel like it's a chicken and egg thing. The difference between a local coach and an international coach is how much management enables you to do the job that you need to do. Part of the problem is that you look at Sundowns, you look at Pirates, and you go, yes, there's no way that could work. But Sundowns needs to be able to walk into that change room and change everything if he wants to. But that means your management must back you. Coach Pitso is our number one example. What happened with Coach Pitso? Hired, people are like, hey, supersport. Hey, he was doing what bafana. Ntate Motsepe had to come out and tell everybody that, hey, this is my coach. I have chosen him. I am going to back him. And back him means if you need to change the whole team, change it. And it's something we give to the foreign coaches. Guys, Coach Jose Rivero was coaching in Finland. How many of us watched the Finnish team, the Finnish league? How many of us know what team Jose Rivero was coaching? that side. But he arrived and immediately he was given the control. So I feel like the problem is when a local coach steps in, Rabanyatsa. Oh, how dare 10-10s think he can coach Kaizer Chiefs? And when he walks into the dressing room, you know what happens? They look at him and they go, 10-10s. Shame, he's going to be gone within 6 months if we don't. Instead of it being that, hey guys, from the top to the bottom, this is our guy. Players, fans, everybody. This is who we are backing. The complaint I had with Kaizer Chiefs over the past few years has been that when it gets hot, management doesn't back their guy fully. They're half and half. And that's what happens with South African coaches. And this is why, again, we have Abo Siema that do very well, fired all of a sudden. We have over 10-10s with a track record, 10-10s as a trophy, fired all of a sudden. Abo Atazwane are given 6-month contracts, they're gone all of a sudden. Even though he's done better than Pablo Franco Martin, for example. This is why I'm saying that I think sometimes managements have to understand that when you bring in a local coach or whoever you're bringing in, you have to back them. So when you look at these guys, of course, nobody's going to believe that Lihlonola Siema can coach Pirates. Of course, Samnyatsa simpegela phansi. But when Coach Siema walks into that locker room, how much control can he exert from the powers above? You hear how he's speaking about Nabi. Think about how he's speaking about Nabi right now. Oh, he needs his players. Once he gets his players, we'll see. Once we do that, didn't do that with Atazwan. Didn't do that with Kevin Johnson. Didn't do that with Mlifinseki. Didn't do it with Gavin Hunt, who, by the way, was in a transfer ban year when he did what he did. Bogan is asking, was Rulani backed? Guys, Rulani is almost invincible. He was one game from being invincible. Guys, do you understand how many records that man broke? Labagu Sundowns. And when it came time to back him, well, they were changing. That's a different situation. But when it came time to make the decision, Sundowns went in a different direction. It's fine. But that's why, Kere, the nucleus, the start of the conversation we're having should be when Pitso was coming from flopping, bafana, was coming from supersport, which we look down upon. There was a person in management who told everyone, now, and you know what, when he wants to go sign players, he's going to sign players. When he wants to change the structure, he's going to change the structure. When he wants to do this, and it's something we give to overseas coaches, they don't even have to prove anything. At least Jose has proved a lot. But anyway, let me go to Nkosi Kona. Nkosi Kona, welcome to the show. How are you, my brother?
I'm fine and you, my brother.
I'm good. Pirates beat Polokwane City 1-0. How do you feel about the game?
Wow, hey, I'm very proud with my team because, they able to grind the result even whatever circumstances as because because you can tell there was fatigue, but you coach was a strategy. Okay, it's fine. You know what I like about Parrot na Dukusana Fetch? Ngithanda ngoba iParrot iyakwazi ukuthi ucoach ebona ukuthi game well mhlambe yasinda bese okay, let's wait for a moment. They get a moment, they put up the ball back of the net. Like for example, leya game ePolokwane City, it was a very tough game because of the condition in the ground eliyona. iParrot bengakwazi ukuthi move ibhola the way they want.
Yeah.
But the introduction of Dlamini and Mabasa, because Polokwane City was sitting in their pool, it was a very, very, very crucial for coach. Look at Dlamini with the technical ability. I could touch a ball far apart from my defender and keep it is or Bodlela wins and then the game is gone. So actually leya ndlela abadlala ngayo mfethu iyona ndlela abangawina ngayo iChampions League. I like iParrot indlela even ama-analysis ayo mfuna uwapraise because it means that they analyze it. Okay, it's fine. Ama-team asesibambile most of the time si-attacker with left and right, ama-wings are 8. Okay, let's come up with another different system because now they are playing like 4-3-3. Whereas before they were playing 3-4-3. You understand? They changed the system. No, so we play 3-5-2 now. But change the system. We say we 4-3 because if they attack my team a lock, they get exposed at the back, then especially manje bekhathele, they will get exposed belimale kakhulu. So ngamthanda ucoach isystem yethu yasisebenzela ngisho ukuthi amanye amagame into engiyithandayo amanye amagame uzodlala ngala 352 amanye idlala 343 depending ukuthi udlala nobani. So indlela ucoach wami akaplana ngazo and I'm so sad ukuthi ke usashiya, but he have proven a lot as amabhakane ukuthi no ucoach o top Rivero ngiyabezwa bamqhatha noPro ngemumva kakhulu. Pro wathatha indebe kwiPirate ngizokutshela inyana.
Yeah.
uPro uthatha indebe kwiPirate esenza i-final year yakhe. I think it was a third season kwakha nathatha lezi ndebe ezu3 and then we are praising low season nesizini uthatha indebe mfethu ebeyikhabethini. Akusiyona into elula leyo ufika kwi-culture and believing uma-development team instead of going to South American don't get those expensive players. No, azange ze break account ePirate ukuthi ethole the high profile players instead uvuse mfethu uTito akekho benza uTito behlala for example kwi-supersport ebhenchini umphathe ehlala ebhenchini yabo uyabathatha lo muntu. That is why if you have a system will win you games. Not high profile players. You need to get a system first. Officially, I feel like lapha womakhelwane into abashoda ngayo system ne-courage ukuthi this is a system that you are going to play, then you get the right courage. Remember, you are playing Kaizer Chiefs, you are not playing for Amazulu. So therefore, each game ufuna win it because this is a big team. Chiefs enkulu bafethu, we won't take away that. Inkulu kakhulu abalandeli buku iyadliwa kodwa still abalandeli abayi-attenda ukuthi bangakanani. So it means that you need to get a character and the system involved. So now if you don't have a system, this way problems will come because also depend abadlala bama high profile players, whereas you need a system and a structure that will win you at the game. Look at coach wami not ngoba mpreza kakhulu akanakhulu namhlanje counseling akanaki namhlanje khona uTito mefuna win a game, he will come up with the plan. This is a material that I have, how I can use it in order for me to get a good result. I'm happy with that side when it's come to Pirate because ba win a game nala ubona komdabo la futhi abola game we look thinkers le abayiwina lapha eAjeka vethu yangitshengisa ukuthi Pirates are win at the Champions League. It was very difficult that game, they wave after wave, but the coach was substitute and everything was spot on. You know that it is Parada game with no coach. I would have about that. I want to get with you. I got some book petty game with Beg now. It was a top. Yo, what? One check is no after Spubek game, Qatar in the Champions League. Men at one period, I mean, Rivero was a winner the Champions League. Obviously, cup game man. So I'm very impressed about him. But unfortunately, he's a really putting a loyalty. Don't just tell him or no Rulani Bonkelaba or Coach Gavin Bashor. No, as a Mapakani and a Kaizer Chiefs, basically, we don't need a local coach. We've tried them. Ageko was never anything. But steady, Bamosh. Bafebe build zonke into lapha beshithi i-bankrupt or ngoba uPitso lendlone impress uPitso look at well uyithathile izinto bonke no run, but how much did they lokuza beyidingile kwi-Sundowns to get those results? When you think about that business wise though, then you will realize that no, there's no coaching there because ngeke ungitshela ukuthi ulanda umdlali like Orlando wase-South American bese ungitshela ukuthi no we are coach because I mean immaterial akuvumela ukuthi you need to get result. That is why they will get rid of you if you don't meet certain results because they invested a lot of money to get those whatever trophy that they're looking for. But in my coach, akekho umdlali ohambile olanda ngemali udevelope uthatha lapha phansi buka manje TLB buka manje vuko TLB besaba bazosesana kuningi nje mfethu kulapha ku-Rivelo angifuni qamba manje somkhumbula ucoach ya ngibhala ngidedela abanye.
Wesh, welcome to the show. How are you?
Uthi kamba kahle.
Hayi mami mnandi Wesh ngizathini. Ukhala kusizi. Well, Pirates beats Polokwane City 1-0. Uthini ngeke?
OT bro, I feel like ayikho into emnandi njengokuthi ube ne team ewina kabi yabo grind ama results mara uyazi ukuthi they can and they have an ability to play the beautiful football.
Yeah,
but that you cannot shy away from. We've had instances where sidlala kamnandi but we don't win, you know. So I think Rivero uyitholile the strategy yokuthi if kungenzeki sizokwenza noma yini to come back with the 3 points. You know, you can go back to an away game ye Champions League. Ayikho into ebesiyenza lapha, mari results esibuye nayo. You understand? I think it was the same thing with the game ye Polokwane City. Nothing much happened. Polokwane City was grinding too. Lokho singakubalekeli. They were grinding. But we became victorious, yabo. Which is a good thing, and ngiyamgcoba lapha ekutheni I think usehambe wahamba wayithola ukuthi uma kungavumi sizokwenza noma yini to be able to get result too with the material that he has, bruh. I think into ayitholile njengamanje ukuthi uzokwazi ukudonsa bani afake bani asinayo a wide squad esikhulu to pick and choose from, but uyakwazi ukuthi at this moment or at a right time ngizokhipha usibani bani ngifake bani, and it works, you know. We are almost over a league, Champions League, and this cup game esele. I've got a great feeling that the league is so kahle with what we have and the tactical abilities that our technical team have. So from my side, I'm very ngijabule, and I think enye into esebenzele Pirates kakhulu is wonke umuntu une role, and I feel like abadlali bayawa understand ama roles zabo perfectly. The so-called senior players, they are not arrogant, but they are leading the team. Talking about Usbisi, you're going to talk about Uxogi, Uhoto understand his role, and Umakaola, those 4 guys, they know exactly who they are and they know their role. Besuzoba nabadlala abaphakathi nendawo, bomam Ombata, Dlamini, they are senior players, but they also have their role. Then you have the youngsters. The youngsters are just there, humble, grinding the results, but they are humble. And they make sure that they're going to take in everything. Basnigama results. Agna young style arrogant. Agna young style tole game in with an attitude or anything, you know, in between. Everyone on a role yake, and people are understanding. And without big names, you know.
Yeah.
And lastly, I will say Usbisi deserves defender of the season this season. Sitanda Singatanda, I deserve. I would give him leadership, stepping up against all odds, because nobody believed in him. And Bodlela came through and said, "Hey, ngiphakamisa isandla sami, nizongithanda ningangithandi."
But I want to ask you, Ash,
leadership.
Oh no, go on.
I'm saying his leadership has been immaculate. Having people bengena kuyena. Different people, Uxogi ubuyile wazongena udlalile noSesane uyakwazi ukudlala noMbokazi mabe dlala iflat 3, still he's showing up and showing ukuthi he can adjust with any of the people that are coming to that defense line. I think coming from where he comes from the bench, bro, you cannot not commend that from the guy.
I wanted to ask you, as you mentioned the structure of Pirates, the leaders, the middle players, the senior players. I want to speak to you about, man, these youngsters. How important is these structures? Because in as much as Mfukeng is a star player, he's not expected to be the star every day, man. There's a bit of cushion that Pirates has. How important is that for some of these players, especially when you look at other players like Abumfundo, who are meant to somehow be the star players and the guys that pull the team out and carry all that pressure? How does that factor into everything that Pirates is doing?
Brian Baloyi has mentioned Uguti previously at Kaizer Chiefs. They even had different changing rooms. Omncane ulaphaya singama senior sila. Because I'm not saying that you know, but I'm just trying to explain Uguti. Everyone in a role. Everyone in a role. You are young, you are new in this thing, the pressure, nokuthi abantu bengabulala kanjani career yakho as a youngster. You need to be cushioned, you need to be protected, you need to be allowed to grow. You understand? Awukwazi ukuba sesicongweni uphansi. So leyo role yakho understand. Kufanele, yeah, understand. So I think how it used to be back then, where there are senior players and they are acting senior, and there is a youngster who okumele akwazi ukubaleka kokufika lapha. It was really important. I think Orlando Pirates is doing that perfectly fine. But our seniors are also not arrogant, they are not like arrogant ukuthi bathi hey wena uyintwana. No, they are there. And another thing engifuna ukuthi singayibalekeli sengiqeda nje ukuthi influence ye Pirate TV, those interviews, I think Rivero ufike ngesikhathi right, where even that marketing team and the production team is at the peak, because that TV plays a huge role in showing the culture of the team, in letting our players be able to express. And we even see the relationship between coach and the players. And I think all of that just played a huge role in us seeing this team for what it is, and nama role, nama responsibilities of people. You see from the way they are talking, from their interviews, that, oh, this is the leader in the team. Oh, that's one. Oh, this and that. So I think that played a huge role also in understanding our coach in depth, with the person that he is, and everything in between.
All I'm going to say is Nakalisui Rasmas. So no. Gadala. Let me go. Let me go to Pilani. Pilani, welcome to the show. Pilani.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly, my brother. Welcome. Pirates beats Polokwane City 1-0. How do you feel about the game?
The game for me was very robust. It was more result orientated. Because Polokwane City is not the small team that a lot of people think that they like perceive,
Yeah.
And also, because they were playing also by the old Pitso Mosimane Stadium, I think it was also like a psychological barrier because of the pitch to more so like nerve Pirates' greatest strength, in that if you play on like a smoother surface, then that's where they're able to thrive. So I think looking at the season from where it started to where it is right now, Pirates kind of morphed over time. And the morphing of Pirates is more of a thing of where you were saying Uguti Pirates, where you were saying Uguti Jose Rivera is like a master of moments. And then that master of moments coming from cup games, it's starting to bleed into the league now. Where now it's like, okay, if the game is not going in the way that I wanted it to go, how can I change it? In the very same way that Miguel Cardoso in Sundowns did in these first few games. So it's more like a result-based oriented performances from now, whereby it doesn't really matter as to how we get the results. The bottom line is that result, So
Can I ask?
Very interesting thing.
Can I ask? Is the timing a little bit off for that to now bleed in, especially knowing that Jose Rivero is leaving? Do you think that a new coach is going to have to build that from scratch? Does it carry over? How do you see that handover happening?
That's the problem, actually, because now Jose Rivero is kind of like kicking into another gear, and had he stayed, that would have been like the new foundation for the next season. Where now they actually playing more smartly, and they're playing with moments, and the Pirates team Lena was going to move a whole lot differently, from a fundamental perspective. But now with the new coach, we don't know which coaches is going to be, and that coach's philosophy, and that coach's fundamentals as to how he wants the game to be played. That's going to be quite difficult.
Okay.
It's going to be very, very difficult, and I think into terms of coaching and how they choose the coaches. I think Jose Rivero could be Pirates' blueprint, in that looking for someone who's unknown with no expectations, So yeah.
How much credit do you give to Pirates? Because in as much as we're saying that Jose is how Jose is, but Zimbabwe, you could argue, was a similar type of coach. You can tell that Pirates In terms of coaching, they know what they look for generally. In terms of the players, you can see that there's progression within each of the positions and the way that Pirates plays. It's still Pirates, Mara tweaks here and there. How much credit do you give to upper management?
It's very credit to upper management is very underrated now. Because I think mhlambe with Zimbabwe they kind of did like see like a few mistakes here and there. Because with the Zimbabwe Magahamba, there were like certain comments that he did iterate whereby it was like a lot a lot of Pirates players are not like technically gifted. But then funny enough, those very same players who weren't as technically gifted, they did like transfer to Jose Rivero. And with Jose Rivero, his philosophy is to see the team as it is and make the most out of it. Whereas I was in Power, and to a certain extent to Nabi, they want like things to be in their benefit from the get-go. You get what I'm saying? So Jose Rivero, like also on the coaching aspect, he has fundamentally shifted coaching to say it's not about what you have, but it's more like how you make the most of what you have.
Yeah, it's not about what you can get.
Exactly, because also with him like promoting like the youngsters. Qala huwe manje ukuthi kusho ukuthi nje this thing can happen, even though Steve Barker at Stellenbosch with this project, he's been doing that for like quite a while, and only now people are seeing ukuthi kahle this is how things should be. This is how things like should be like led with, you know. Like starting from grassroots, starting like from the fundamentals, because people want like quick results. Ekutheni those quick results ziyaphela, you understand? So
Okay. For time, I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna let Tiro come in. Tiro, close it for me. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, Mr. OT, how's it?
I'm good. Another win for Pirates. How do you feel about it? How do you feel about the things we've been speaking about?
No, I am Ascale Panze Pro. Ascale Panze. First things first, you know, man. Happy winter when you're introducing winter pro. From the states of Enachurena pro. No, thanks. We see what's coming.
Yabanda, guys. Yabanda, man.
I understand.
Effectively, how chips closed down, so we don't have that heat anymore.
No, man. I say Kale Panze from John Shale. I think from the first panel we course, I think there's only one good thing one thing that I took from the conversation in course. I think when the environment I created, I don't know whether is it by default or it's just the way I corner this language barrier thing. Yeah, I think come to think of it, the way Amachita Adlala corner. If you remember clearly, in the couple people are selecting players. Is it Kali?
I think, yeah.
Yeah, Kali.
Oh, yes, Kali. Yeah.
Later on, this is the Chiefs. No Rivero.
And they were
it was quite impressive to see Amachita Adlala with so much passion under Rivero.
After 3 days. After 3 days. They only had them for 3 days.
Imagine. And did you see Abo Vilakazi? Abo Zwane to be exact. Did you see how well Zwane played in that game? And then you come back, you take the same Zwane under Unavi or Jimanai day after day, and you can't. Sometimes I don't know whether it's like I understand, but then that's a topic of another day. And yeah, the Pirates game interesting. I like coach I think people are underrating that guy, and Half is quite. I'm not sure my credentials. So I hope Polokwane don't let him go. I hope they actually support him. In actual fact, even if they take him to UEFA, the lowest UEFA, they must take that guy. I think for me, he's one for the future for the country as well. These are the type of if there's any scouting for coaches, that guy should be scouted.
Yeah.
I opportunity oversee UEFA and see what he can come back with. I'm not sure, but then I hope Irvin, is such a good coach. And that game was quite open, pound for pound. Hey, I think they're downplaying Polokwane, bro.
Yeah.
Polokwane created so many chances. China saved khona le diski le bola le khabe lo kunjani u-apolisi, 10 wakhabe into China saved. It was a nice game to watch. Tactically, you look at what Urivero did, Marafara Umabasa no Dlamini, and
Yeah.
it changed the dynamic. You then saw fluidity, and the combination ga Maswanganyi no Kunjani no Mahopa.
Yeah.
It's a disconnect there. It's a bit of a disconnect, but then the minute Ungena Umabasa, there was a change. And the fact that Masokane keeps dropping way too deep to collect those balls because Umbata no Makaola balala kule rest defense. But then it was a nice game. Tactically, it was quite lovely to see what the two coaches, pound for pound, what they did with that game. And maybe it's actually a tactic. I think Namding I should substitute. It's actually a tactic to play Pirates. We have Engeko perfect. It's a tactic now, and people are actually using it. So it is what it is, and it's nice to see Urivero actually finding ways around that. So it is what it is. And we'll see. The season is finishing. Well, let's ring another contract with Wamachita. DDC. It's interesting. Well, let's keep in
I remember when we had the conversation, Kari, there's something there that's wrong, man.
This guy.
People jumped it, Kari. There's something. How can you go from
There's a lot
DDC
to actually
to
talk
first
about.
team?
There's so much to talk about.
Anyway.
I do not blame EPSL for taking the stand that they're taking because they need to make money at the end of the day. They need to make money to sustain the league. If that's how they make money, because SAFA itself is not coming into play.
But they mustn't lie to us because is it a
But
two-way
then
contract?
what
Is
are
it
we
a
supposed
two-way
to do?
contract? Is it a one-way contract? How much are these kids?
Then who
You
must
know
lose?
what?
But then at the end of the day, who must lose? Is it the league or is it us or is it the boys? Who must lose?
No,
And in any case, it's benefiting the teams.
I'm worried about the kids, man. I'm worried about the kids. If Mara, wait again, guy.
But then, as me from each angle, I look at what the overseas teams. I'm not sure whether should I say teams or what the FAs do overseas. The environment that they create for these young ones, how they groom them. It's different from how we do things. Young Todd. That's why I'm not there. You see, it's a game of opinion. I'm not there to then say maybe it's the teams or is it the FA? Who's who there? Who's supposed to play which role?
There's a question I want to ask, but I'll make it a day. There's a question I want to ask.
Please,
Correct.
Melesi
What is the point of the DDC, Mara? Anyway, you know what? It's fine. It's fine.
There's a huge bone to chew on that issue. But then Melesi bro.
No, thank you, Tiro.
Good
Guys,
night, bro.
guys, this is how we end the show. Thank you to everybody that joined. Remember, the show is on every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Tomorrow, we're going to be on at 9 p.m. Because we're going to be watching Masandawana playing their second leg over there in Tunisia. So it's not going to start at 7. We're going to start at 9 p.m. and we're going to do a watch-along of the CAF Champions League game. So if you have not followed, please follow. Thank you to everybody that gave gifts on that side. Now, remember, the Chiefs, Pirates, Mamelodi Sundowns, Bafana, Banyana in action. We are going to be covering it live. You'll be able to jump in and speak to me as we are speaking here. I also drop my own content. So I've got an episode of my podcast coming out tomorrow where I'm going to touch on a lot of these different things. So please support, and also on YouTube, and please support everywhere else where you can, because I drop shorts. I try to drop shorts frequently. I try to do a whole bunch of different contents, quite a bit, as much as possible. So guys, thank you to those that have supported up to this point. Thank you to those that are watching. Thank you to those watching on YouTube. Actually, right now, guys, I'm monetized on YouTube. So if you can go watch the videos on that side as well, you really are helping a lot. But anyway, guys, let me go. Great chat. So many different threads that could be pulled there, but we'll pull them on another day when we don't have matches and reviews in the pipeline. Guys, thank you so much. I'll see you then tomorrow at 9. Very 7. Man. 7. Bye, everyone.